Welcome to our first tutorial, and in this tutorial we are going to concentrate on Adobe Photoshop. It's literally introduction to Adobe Photoshop. So I already downloaded my files and installed. However, I'll be using my portable format. So it's in this folder. I clicked on it, and on clicking on it, I come and pick up the Adobe application. If you installed, you just go and search in the panel the way you would search for Microsoft Word, and you will find your Photoshop in the panel just here. You just type in Photoshop, and then if it is there, it will come. Like mine is there, so I will just click here. Okay, let me get back. So I click to open the application. You just double click on it, and then it takes a little while according to your computer capacity, and then it opens. Meanwhile, as it opens, Photoshop is a tool that has a lot of resemblance with Adobe Illustrator. Most of the tools we'll learn how to use in Photoshop. When we get to Illustrator, we might not have to redo them, but rather we'll just learn other tools that Illustrator has that Photoshop doesn't have. So this is my Photoshop. It has opened. Let me first make it, yes, full screen. So the key design tools are up here, and then the secondary tools are up here. Yes. So how do I get started with Photoshop upon opening like this? I'll come to File. When I click File, it has New, Open, Browse in Bridge, Open as Smart Object, Open Recent, and many other menu or menus that take you to different functions like we'll be seeing. So that is File for you there. Then we have Edit. Edit is used while you're directly working on something, working on anything. It could be a graphic, it could be just a modification, or it could be a vector, and so on and so forth. So you have Layer. Now this layer, we'll be using it to integrate different layers. Photoshop is layer based, like we are going to see. We have Type, we have Select, Filter, 3D, View, Window, and Help. All these shall be tackled one by one. So let's get started. Let's do our first Photoshop work. Let me maximize again. So you come to File, you go to New, and then it prompts you to put in the title of whichever graphic you're going to work on. So I'm going to work on notification, or a notice, or a simple flyer. It will have a picture, it will have text, it will have different colors. Okay, so I'm going to call it No Notice. Here down you see document type. Now the document type is the format in which you intend that flyer to be. When you click here, you will see the different available formats. You will see the default. When you click default, it allows you to set your own dimensions according to where you want to put the format, the notice, sorry. Then when you say US paper, it has standard papers. You have letter, you have legal, you have tabloid. When you say international paper, now this is the most common used document type. You have A4, A6, A5, A3, B and C and DL. I hope you know what the difference between A4 and A3, A5, etc. is. In case you don't, A4 is the standard paper size. A3 is double that standard paper size. A2 is double A3. A5 is half a page. A3 is half of A5, and so on and so forth. So A4 is the common paper size. However much these days people are opting more for A5. So when you say A4, it gives you the default dimensions, but those dimensions are in millimeters, but you can convert them to pixels or inches or centimeters to be sure. Now this is according to how you want to measure. Me, I always measure in pixels. Someone else could be used to their rulers and then they would prefer to use centimeters. All in all, that doesn't matter. What really matters is that you already allowed the document type to be A4 and everything is put for you. So we continue down here. You have the next option, which is resolution. Now resolution is the size, is the color concentration, is the pixel concentration of your art. When you increase the resolution, your artwork becomes heavier and more clear. When you reduce it, it becomes less clear, meaning it becomes a bit lighter, and then the pixel concentration is not so good compared to one which has a higher resolution. So let's keep it as is, which was 300. And then we have the color mode. Now we have two major color modes that we'll be looking at. We have the CMYK color mode, and then we have the RGB color mode. Now in Photoshop, we can always keep it RGB. I won't talk much about that because it's more into printing. However much to know, to get some small information, RGB stands for red, green and blue as the major colors. You know, getting back to industrial art, colors come from red, yellow and blue. When you get red and you mix it with yellow, you get green. When you get red and you mix it with when you get red and you mix it with blue, you get red and blue, you get green. When you get red and yellow, you get orange. And then when you mix those colors, secondary colors, the primary colors, you keep adding on. So the mode we'll be using will be RGB color mode. The bits is the output format. The most standard one will be 8. And then the background of the contents. This is before writing on your sheet or on your canvas which color do you want to find there. When you come and click on the color, it gives you a color collection palette where you can select the kind of color you want. Me in my in this situation, I just want white to be the background, so I select white. Yes, I select white as was. So I say okay. Now when I say okay, it opens for me the canvas. Now this canvas is A4. So what do I want? I want text. So we go now to the secondary tools. We look for text. Now text, all these tools like we'll be seeing are used for different things. But now if we are going to insert text, we look for the text tool, which is here. Most infographics or most graphics have text on them. So we come and click on text. When we click on text, it loads. I clicked once. So you move your cursor, then you put it on the canvas. Then you click again once. Ta. Now I'm left clicking. Yeah. So when you click, this blinking bar comes, and now it's telling you that it's ready for typing. Now before you begin typing, you have here a color. After selecting the text tool, you have a color here, which is red. It means it's the color with which you're going to write. If you're going to write with green, you will click on that color up here. Let me get back again for you. Click on this color up here, and then you select the green you want and put it in. Remember, after that, we are going to write. I'm going to say public notice. Okay, I had a quick color selection. It didn't get into from the palette, but in case it doesn't, still you can get back to what you've just typed and click in it once, then highlight it all slowly, yes, until it's entirely highlighted, and then you come and select the color again, and you say I need this in green, this forest green. You say okay, so your color is selected. Okay, then you come and click out somewhere. Yes. So after that, I want to move this word to be in the center. So I'm going to move again, and I go to my move tool and I click on it once. After clicking on it, I come back, it has highlighted, and then I move this word where I want it. Maybe I want it to be here. Now these highlight lines are called transform controls. These lines here around here are called transform controls. They are always up here. If you remove them, the transform goes. If you put it back, the transform comes back. Yeah, auto select means whatever I select on board here gets highlighted. You can always have it checked also. So we've now looked at the text tool, we've looked at the move tool. Now if this is small and I want to increase it, I have to just always get back. If I want to do any editing or increase the size, I just have to always get back to the text tool. After clicking on it just once, I come on the word I want to modify, I click again. It makes it editable. For example, now I want to increase the size. I highlight it, and then I come up here to my size. I'm on 23, so if I click once, and maybe I come to 60. Again after that, you can click on the move tool to just change from the editing tool and make your cursor free, so that once you click on the canvas, the lines go. And maybe you can again try to move this in the middle. Okay, so those are tools covered well so far. There is another tool that we are going to check on. It is called Eclipse Tool. What does it do? This one helps you to draw different shapes. It read Eclipse Tool because it's previously what I was using, but whichever tool that is selected is what it reads. So you could just call it a shapes tool. Okay, now what does it do? If I click on it, if I click and hold, first of all, click and hold, it brings this menu. And in this menu, I'm able to select which shape I want to use. In this situation, I'm going to use triangle tool. If I again click and hold, there are many. I select. So after selecting the triangle tool, I move again and I come to my canvas. If I click and hold, and then I move, I'm holding, and then I move until I reach where, if I want to cover this entire space with that shape, I will. If I would want to just cover the top part in this form, still I would. I've now released. When you release, don't click anywhere else. First go up here and see what you've drawn. Now what you've drawn has attributes. It has fill here, which is the color that is going to fill on that shape. In this situation it is white, but maybe I want it to be filled with green. So I click on color once and then I select it. I've selected this green, okay, forest green, and then I have stroke. Stroke means around this shape, it's like a line around this shape. What is needed? Do I want to put a color on top, or I don't want to put anything? Like the frame of my shape, should it have a color, or I just leave it? If you don't want a color, you will leave it. You click here. If you want a color around, after clicking the stroke, you can select a color, maybe red. So I've selected red. It means my line around here is red, which is the frame, but it's too small to be seen. So after selecting red, if I went here and said 20, and then I pressed enter, that's how it would look like. But I don't need a frame, so I can just come here and say I don't need it, so I remove the color. So after I come and click my move tool, or I deselect, and then I click in my board. So by that, we've also learned how to use a shape tool. Okay, so after doing my shape, the move tool is also more of a selection tool while you're editing. So if I clicked on the move tool, I came and clicked here, these highlights would come, and if I want to pull this shape to reach my right extreme and also my left extreme, I'll just pull like that easily. You just put and then you pull and push, pull and push. Now you have to put the cursor until it shows more of like two arrows joined together, and then you hold, and then you stretch where I want. So by doing this, I've been able to insert a shape. So if I went and pulled it down all over, until here. That's how it would be. So I come back to deselect or move, then it asks me to apply what I did, then I say oh, it's okay. And then the second thing I want to do is to insert a picture, because I said I wanted text, a picture, and I want this notice I'm doing to convey a message. Yeah. So which picture am I going to put on, and how do I insert a picture? Let's move together. I come to file again. I say place. Now if I'm going to place a picture which has a link attached to it, I say place linked. If I don't need a link on my picture to be captured, I can just say place embedded. So I click, and then it brings me to this, to my desktop, or any place where you've actually put your pictures that you want to use in your design. So if it has taken me to my desktop, I can open any folder which has a picture to use, and then I pick that picture. For example, let me pick this. So you click on it just once, then it's selected here, then you say then you just say down here, this button should be showing place, then you say okay. So when you say okay, this picture is brought into your artwork. So when it's brought in, you press enter once. Enter helps to settle it. You press the enter button once, and then you can use the selection or move tool to move it around. You just select it, and then you come and then you hold. To move it, you just after selecting, you hold and then move. So I've been able also to insert the picture. After inserting the picture, I need to add, it's a public notice, then I need to add maybe a telephone number and some other information. So I will come to the text tool again. I click, I bring it here, and then I type. I could type the information bit of it, but before I could go and can go and change my color from green to white. I want to type using white. So I'm going to say designing class at 8 p.m. I highlight this entire word, then I come up to the size of the text because it's so big, then I select maybe 30, and then after selecting 30, I go and select move, and then I come and move this to the middle. I'm going to put now the telephone number they can call in case of anything. Again, I will have to come to text, put the tool here, come and select the color, maybe let it be in red this time. I say okay, then I type the number, let it be this. Okay, now instead of selecting like this, you can always use Control A, and then it selects for you, then you come and put to the size that you want, then you move it in the middle. So yes, my simple flyer is done. And now how do I save? To save, you come to file, and then you go to save as, you select it, then it allows you to name. If it is notice already, the name is in there. Then here you select the format that you want to save in. In my situation, I will save in JPEG. So when you click on this drop down menu, There are many formats. You look for JPEG, you click on it, and then you save. Now on saving, it asks you the quality that you intend to use. 12 is always the maximum. Don't change anything, and you say okay. Now it has saved. How do you know where it has saved? Once you click on file or go into save as, it always prompts you here. So if you want to save it on the desktop, you click desktop. If you want to save it on another drive like D, you click that drive. But me, let me quickly put it on the desktop. The name is there. I say JPEG, and then I save maximum. Okay. So at this point, if I minimize, I should be able to find my work, my flyer, on my desktop. If I double click into it, it should display right here. So this is our first class, and I hope we've been able to move together and have this accomplished. My display is a bit slow, but this is the work. Thank you very much.